It was a golden morning in the city when Adrian Keller, a man whose name stood for success and precision, stepped into his gleaming kitchen after another long business call. The marble floors reflected the morning sun, everything shining just the way he liked it. Perfect, controlled, predictable. But then, something broke that perfect rhythm, a faint sound, metal scraping against porcelain. Curious, Adrian followed it around the corner, and that's when he saw her. Kneeling quietly behind the dining table was Isla, one of his maids. Her uniform was a little wrinkled, her hands trembling as she ate from a plate, balanced on her knees, leftovers cold and forgotten. She wasn't at the table, wasn't sitting comfortably, she was hiding, eating in silence like she wasn't allowed to exist. For a long moment, Adrian just stood there, a millionaire who had everything, watching a young woman hide to eat the food others threw away. Something inside him shifted. He didn't say a word. He simply turned and walked away, but the image stayed with him. That night, sleep wouldn't come. He kept thinking about her, the quiet way she worked, the way she avoided attention, the way she looked so small and hungry in a house overflowing with food. The next day, he learned the truth. Isla had been working for him for months, always polite, always silent. Almost all of her pay went back home to her sick mother and younger brother in the village. She barely kept enough for herself. Adrian remembered his own early days when he used to skip meals to pay rent, when dreams were all he could afford. Somewhere along the path to success, he had forgotten what struggle looked like. So, he made a decision. The following week, he gathered his staff in the dining room and said something that stunned everyone. From now on, everyone eats together here, in this room. No leftovers, no hiding. The room fell silent. Then, slowly, smiles began to appear. For the first time, laughter filled the mansion. The walls that once held only silence now carried warmth. But Adrian didn't stop there. A few days later, he called Isla to his study. She stood nervously, unsure what to expect. Instead of a reprimand, Adrian handed her an envelope and a few documents. Inside was a scholarship for her brother and full medical support for her mother. Her hand shook as she looked up, tears in her eyes. Adrien simply said, "You've spent your life caring for others. Let someone care for you this time." From that moment on, everything changed. Isla's mother slowly recovered. Her brother began school. And Adrien, the man who once measured life in profits and deals, began to measure it in kindness. He started visiting orphanages, donating to shelters, helping quietly without recognition. He often said, "I used to think wealth was about what you own. Now I know it's about what you can give." Months later, the mansion no longer echoed with formality, but with shared laughter and simple joy. One afternoon, Adrian sat at the long table surrounded by his staff. Isla placed the last dish on the table and took a seat, no longer in the shadows, but as part of the family. As sunlight poured through the windows, Adrian smiled softly. He had finally found something his money could never buy. Peace. And he realized the greatest truth of all. Compassion is the real currency of life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pure Hub Kindness. Because every small act of empathy can change the world. Tell us in the comments below. What does kindness mean to you?